Hey guys, Nick here with NPM Productions. Over the next few weeks, I have some gigs that are coming up that are going to have very little to no rehearsal going into the actual show. And they're pretty big gigs as far as the band is concerned. We have about 16 horns on one of them, and we have 4 horns on another one of them. We'll basically be rehearsing the show in sound check, but I won't be able to run the entire show with the band before we hit the stage. And this is pretty common these days because of travel expenses and the fact that artists can't really travel with everybody that they usually rehearse with. So in different regions, we would have what are known as pickup bands. And generally, we only have about 90 minutes to put on a 2-hour show. So we'll do what's called running tops and tails, making sure the intros are correct and the outros are clean. And everything that happens in the middle is kind of up to everybody's ability to come to the gig prepared. So I wanted to go over the 3 things that I use to get prepared for gigs in this situation. The first step is to get all relevant materials for the show. And this would pertain to any charts that the artist has and any reference audio that the artist has for recent shows. You need the most recent show to make sure that all of the notes you put in your charts, if they exist, would be the most recent changes to the show that were created. I generally ask for at least 3 reference shows to cross-check my charts to. Secondly, you have to listen to all of the reference material while reading any charts that exist and marking up all relevant information. The top for me are making sure that the tempos are correct based on the reference tracks and what's written in the parts. You also want to make sure that the form is correct between the reference material and any charts. And this would pertain to any repeats that exist or don't exist, any codas, any fermatas, any changes in tempo, any interludes, or anything that relates to the song structure. I generally highlight in Fourscore using different colors of highlighters based on tempo discrepancies, dynamics, and any conducting moments that could jog my memory when we're in a show situation. I'll also mark up any changes in patches or sounds or textures. And this also helps me to figure out the ballet of playing and changing patches and anything dynamically I need to alter while I'm doing things in real time on a gig. This also pertains to what I'm doing with each hand. For instance, if I'm playing a pattern in my right hand, I know my left hand is free to make a patch change. I just want to reiterate that it is crucial that you're using the most recent versions of the shows. You should make sure from your artist or music director that what you're listening to is the most relevant version of the show. The third part should be self-explanatory, but you need to show up to the sound check knowing your material backwards and forwards. There's no room for error when you have to run a 2-hour show in 90 minutes. So make sure that you, number 1, play along to the tracks at home, making sure that you're matching tempo and feel and any comping patterns that the player you're coming in for had done in the previous shows. Once you're done playing along to the reference tracks and you feel comfortable, set the metronome at the tempo that you have marked up in your chart and play solo and make sure that your part is clean. Lastly, you need to work out what I call the ballet of hands. And this pertains to any patch changes or any sounds you need to change and making sure that those are dialed in as you would be performing them. So this pertains to guitarists who may be going from a rhythm part to a lead part and need to change their pedals and their sounds. And this may pertain when drummers need to go from mallets to sticks or to brushes. And for keys players, sometimes going from a dual piano to a single piano or rotating in your bench from a keyboard that's to your right back to center. I also need to make sure that my patch changes are fast and happen accurately so that everything that I have dialed in comes to fruition when I'm playing live. In situations like this, there is 0 room for error, and you need to make sure what you're rehearsing is how you will do it in the show. I hope this video was helpful. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.